Whoa. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you all with the love and the honor of the infinite creator. And I do continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many, many blessings from the universe. Oh my goodness. Hi everybody. It's 7 and 7. There was 8 people here before I even logged on. Steve and Susie Q and Miss Delaney Pearl and Elderberry and Witch Moon and that's all I can see. Pi Joe. Hey everybody. How are you all on this? Actually, it's Monday morning. Um, I was gonna do it like late 9/11, and I decided that I did not want to do a show on 9/11. I'm just superstitious. You did a good job tonight, Miss Pearl, and you one crazy lady. One, let me tell you, in a good way. So I am here this evening, actually this early morning, to have a conversation about trust. And it it weighs heavy on my heart. The spirits have been like trying to whoop me about this subject, and which is really a shame because there are a lot of folks out there that have promoted trustful things when maybe they haven't been so trustful or truthful or honest or respectful or honorable or Lord have mercy. And it's on a bunch of different levels. I mean, in my discussions with other folks and family members and friends, you know, it's more like distrust is being spread around. A friend of mine down in Tallahassee, but he's staying in Thomasville at the moment. And I've talked about my good friend before, but I won't mention his name at the moment. Was being trustful to other people and they took advantage of him. They broke into his house, they stole all kinds of stuff and have been literally endangering his life. And from where he lives in Tallahassee, or where his house is, when he calls 911 to report him, it's 30 minutes before the police ever get there. So the people who are trying to commit the crimes are being dishonest and throwing rocks at his windows and shooting at him and shit. And it's like, what? And so these were supposed to be people that he could trust. Okay. Personally, I thought I could trust my daughter, and while I was in the hospital, she decided to go fishing instead of coming to see me. I mean, I talked about that before, but I'm still not quite over that one. And you trust these folks to love you, to be honest with you, to respect you, and they just turn around and they're just absolutely the opposite. So, the trust comes in many levels and layers and so forth, and it's almost a 20. And so I'm kind of packed up and ready to go. So I'm going to share with y'all, if, well, share if I could with y'all. Hey, Saturnian son, Susie Q, Witch Moon, if I've missed anybody, howdy ho, my neighbor friends. It's 12:20, so let's have one, just for the heck of it. Can I trust you, my friends? You know, I got to be very careful. But there are folks who are out there, um, and because of electronical devices and things and stuff, there are people out there who we believe that are trustful, but they're passing along information that ain't theirs to pass along. Now, some of this is by accident. Some of it is because people are so frivolous. Well, nobody will care. If I want to talk about Steve, I can, well, Steve's blah, 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 Steve this, Steve that, and I can pick on you. I know, Steve, at least for a minute. But did anybody ask Steve if it was okay to share his information? If I do a live YouTube show and I'm in the hospital and having conversation, that is, I have released that publicly. But had I not done something like that and somebody was sharing stuff about me in the hospital or about my condition or about something like that, but I hadn't done a live stream and it's private, and unless I gave someone permission to share that information, you know, so there are folks who can arbitrarily decide, well, I can share this, they won't care, when they ain't got no business making that decision. You hear what I'm saying? Well, he won't care. Well, how did you know? Did you ask me? Now, that hasn't happened recently, but it has happened to me. It's happened with family members, and not just but to me, but to other family members that, like, say, for example, I send a text to my sister. Okay, now this has not happened, but it could have, and because my sister is not very um, uh, up to date on sending messages or forwarding things, she wants to send something, forward something that I said. Now this has not happened, but that she hits the wrong button and grandma gets it. Well, the conversation is about grandma. Of course, our grandma's dead and passed away. But the idea, though, that in including someone, you hit the wrong button, and all of a sudden somebody knows that grandma's going to make chicken salad, but nobody likes grandma's chicken salad. But now grandma knows that everybody's been throwing the chicken salad out. Oh, but I make it because y'all just love it. And we all been going, yeah, grandma's chicken salad. Bleh. But secrets get out, or a confidential thing between two people is now shared between three because of mistakes with electronical things. Somebody included me in an email one time or on a text, and I'm reading this thing and I'm going, what the hell did you send this to me? I don't know what this dog that you want, what you should name it. And somehow I got included in the naming of this puppy in an email that was not intended for my eyes at all. So it's like, how do you trust these people? You talk to somebody about something and you say, this is between me and you. All right. Well, now you didn't write a non-disclosure agreement between the two of you, but you go, well, I'm calling you because I'm really having trouble with something, and I want to talk to some. I just want to vent. I'm probably going to say some shit that I will regret after I say it, but I'm going to say it to a friend or someone so I can get it out and maybe not say it in front of somebody that it would matter. But during the conversation you're having, this person's going, "Oh my God, you really don't like Chloe, and we're all talking about Chloe." No, no, no. I was making a reference and I mentioned Chloe's name, and somehow now Chloe's involved in something. And but wait a minute now. Whoa, whoa! I was just venting had nothing to do with Chloe. I'd said maybe referring to now, Chloe, I'm making this up, okay? And y'all, I'm making this up. This is a scenario. So, but Chloe sent me an email about something and it related to something that my sister said. Now, in passing, I'm having this conversation with somebody else. And because I mentioned my sister and Chloe, now they're both involved in something. And it's wait a minute, no, y'all missed the boat entirely. Not only that, but you shouldn't have repeated none of that. And what gave you the right to decide that it was just trivial information and that you could just share it on Facebook or in the chat room? Or now I'm making this scenario up. But to my point, though, this is happening, has happened, and will happen. Okay. But you're trusting. The whole point about this conversation is you trusted the person you talked to keep their fucking mouth shut. Look, I'm discussing this just between you and me, and the fence post is one of the things that one of the old terminologies I use. Between you and me and the fence post, what do you think about this? Or something, something, something. And, oh, well, I don't know. It's just all right, well, then just drop it. Then just keep it between you and me. And within the next 2 or 3 days, somehow what you had discussed with your quote trusted friend or acquaintance or whatever, that you were just between you and the fence post and the rest of the fence apparently, and every post and wire that was attached to that one fence post that you were including. And now everybody knows what the hell's going on, and it was supposed to just be between you and this person. Now, that's how you build trust. And that's how you build distrust. Okay. Now, there is a lot of distrust going on because there are folks who have lured people in. All right. And what I mean by lured people in is, oh, you can trust me. I'm your friend. I'll keep you. Of course, I will keep this in confidence. And next thing you know, you hear through the grapevine, someone, obviously the person that you trusted, has somehow blabbed one of or all of those little tiny secrets, or whatever the subject matter was that you wanted to discuss, is now out there in the open, and there are other people talking about your shit when they should know about it to begin with. Now, this has become a serious problem in some areas within family members, within certain groups, within certain people. And I don't know how some of these people can, I don't know, look you straight in the eye and go, well, I didn't think it would matter. What? I, I, I called you because I got a pimple on my ass, and now everybody on Facebook knows that I got a pimple on my ass and I got to sit crooked. What the hell? I was just having a conversation. Who are you to decide how who you share this information with, and what gives you the right? You know what I mean? So doesn't matter, but that's an example of something that would be personal. Well, gee whiz, I'm bleeding out my nether parts, which is actually having issues with some of these medicines and stuff. Blood coming out my rear end. And so, but if I was to tell that to someone in confidence, to trust them, to not open their big fat mouth about it, and then I come to find out that it comes down through the grapevine. Well, Dave's got blood coming out his butt. Wait a minute. I didn't tell. How did you find out about this? Who told you? Well, there's only, it can go back to the person, quote, that I trusted and go, oh, well, I guess I can't trust you anymore because you obviously have no respect for for what I say to you in confidence. You obviously, I trust you to be honest, but then you turn around and are dishonest and disrespectful and dishonorable to me or to someone else that you're yapping about. Um, and there are some people that just get off on this stuff. Now, what can we do about it? I don't know. If you catch somebody that's in the middle of doing something like that, you need to tell them to buck up. That ain't nice. I told my daughter off. I won't trust another word she tells me, and I won't because she's lied to my face. So how can that be reestablished? Because I have zero trust in anything now that she would tell me. So how can you build that trust back up? You got to work at it. You can't just go, well, I'm sorry. That ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. You're going to have to prove to the person that you have been distrustful to because you've opened your mouth about something you shouldn't have. Now, some people say, well, that's just something that really doesn't matter. Well, in your eyes, it ain't. If I was talking about a boil on my butt and you told everybody around, Dave's got a boil on his butt, but it ain't none of your business. I was having conversation between us, but that don't mean that, well, it's just nothing. Who cares if Dave's got a boil on his butt? It's not your decision to make. It is not up to you to be able to share that information. Who gives you I'm trying not to cuss. Who gives you the right? So, but anyway, but this is going on. I live out loud. Right, Saturnian son, I agree with you. But there are things that I agree, Steve. Trust has to be earned back if possible. It's possible after the mistrust. Hey, Tracy, disrespecting self too when doing that. I agree with you, Tracy. I mean, you're not just disrespecting the other person. You're dis you're being distrustful in general, and you're not being respectful to yourself. You're damn sure not being honorable. Wants someone else to know something. Right, exactly, Chloe. But there's a thing. There are things though that we must be aware of. How we feel about the situation is not necessarily how some of these other people feel. Oh, come on, tell me your darkest secrets. I just love to know. Why? Because they somehow want to hold it over on you, or the power that I know a secret. I got a secret on this person. For whatever reason, I mean, I don't get it. But there are people in right this moment, okay, that are doing it, who are listening. Oh, I'm going to gain information on these people. I don't mean here, but I mean it's happening at this moment somewhere that people are like, oh yeah, go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and tell me. I'm kind of sort of spying on you. Not that there's anything big that we have to say or share, but it's an intimate secret. It's something that's intimate to ourselves. And then all of a sudden, it is somehow used in some nefarious way. I don't know how else to say it. Because why would you use, you know, if I was to say, look, don't tell anybody, but I've got a heart issue and I don't want anybody to know. And I'm taking these medicines that are making my head unclear and unsure of myself. And but I don't, I don't want anybody to know that because, I want to put on a good face and I want to be strong for people when actually I'm over here in the corner having a fucking meltdown. I cussed there. Dang it. Um, that was almost the case a couple of weeks ago for me personally, but I didn't say anything. I kind of sort of said it out loud, but there was a part of me that was like, I'm having a freaking meltdown over here. I don't know how to do this. I'm having heart attacks and I'm still wearing a monitor. I got like 4 more days. And so, and going and through this and all these medicines, and they have to be taken in the morning or the afternoon or after dinner, or, so there's a whole new regimen of things I must learn. And in doing so, and in having never have, well, actually, I have had heart attacks in the past. I just didn't know it. But this whole new thing is new to me. So, a couple of weeks ago, I was kind of melting down. I didn't have enough information. I was still new to all these things and contraptions and wearing these monitors and so forth. Um, but, and having conversations with a couple of my sister and privately, but not that I would have really minded, but it was a part of me that I'll discuss it on my own, right? I'll bring it up when I feel comfortable about bringing it up. But right now, I just need to talk to somebody about how I'm feeling about this heart attack thing and how it's changed all my attitudes and stuff. And I don't know what to do, and I'm confused, and there's stuff going on, and I need to learn how to deal with this. So, but to say that I'm having a meltdown over in the corner, right? So, but if somebody had leaked that out, well, Dave's having a meltdown. Did you hear about Dave? He's having a meltdown. Hawkeye can't deal with it. He's supposed to be our stand up, straight, stout shaman in training. He's supposed to be our leader and to show us the right way. And I'm having but he's having a meltdown, which would show weakness, which I don't care because we all have to learn from things. But from my point of view, there was that short time a couple of weeks ago where it's like, I don't really want this out at the moment. I don't know why, but I don't really want to discuss it, even though I kind of sort of touched it on the subject. But if someone had leaked that to the community, I would have been offended simply because I wanted to discuss it on my own terms and bring it to the community myself. But you understand, I hope, what I mean by that there are certain personal things that you might not want to, even though I shared damn near everything that goes on. I mean, it's to the point of being ridiculous. Um, what'd you say, Susie? I missed it. Gotta scroll this back. Yes, if others can trust you, then you should be able to trust yourself. Always be true blue to yourself. Absolutely. But here's my issue is that there are people who are trying to convince others that they are trustworthy when they ain't. Oh, well, you can trust me when actually you can't. I mean, but you can tell me anything you want. Nah, no, you can't. And no, you shouldn't. Hey, Tracy. I said things in front of others that they told me in passing and accidentally embarrassed them. I see, Saturnian son, you get what I'm talking about. So you're human, we embrace all someone and don't accept for them. Yeah. Tracy B, if you're talking about me and having a meltdown, I was processing it. You're absolutely right. But my point was, is, and I wasn't really keeping it a secret. I did a video basically like I'm kind of confused here, and my whole reality has changed, which it has. But I'm still processing. But the thing is though, and I was just using that personally as an example as to something that quote could have been, leaked, and it would have been my own private little thing. But things are being done to other people like that, though. And, here's an example. My good friend Tom, oh, I wasn't going to use his name. Oh, well. But anyway, he's the friend in Tallahassee that people are breaking into his house and literally trying to do him bodily harm. And so many, many years ago, when I first bought this place, and Tom was down here and we were having a cookout or something, and he was down and visiting, and I turned over a board and there were a bunch of termites. And he reached down and he went, no, those look crunchy. And he took a couple and munched on them. He goes, kind of tastes like pine. And he's literally eating these things. And I'm like, what the hell? Tom, he goes, well, try one, and I was like, well, I'd heard that Aboriginals ate termites and stuff, and what the hell? So I reached down and grabbed a couple and ate them. But so what happened later on was I'm describing the condition. I'm telling the story. I said, Tom Keister, my buddy, yeah. I said he was at the house the other day and we were out and I was cooking out back, and he flipped over a thing and Tom eats termites. So he got this nickname of Termite Tom, and you're the guy that Dave talks about that eats the termites. And Tom looked at me and he goes, did you have to tell everybody? And I said, I didn't tell everybody. I only told one or two people, but the next thing you know, my buddy Tom is known as the termite eater, I mean, and he's got a nickname, and he didn't deserve that. And people later in the years are like, Tom Keister, are you the guy that ate the termites? And Tom would go, and that was my fault, you know. Because I've eaten termites too, not regularly, but I have. And if I had to, I think I'd make them quit wiggling for like throw a bunch of them into a pan and kind of kill them with a little bit of heat and maybe add a little something to them. But they do have a nutty flavor. But the idea was that it was not intentional to give Tom 20 or 30 years of him being the termite guy, Tom the termite eater. No, 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 no. I was talking about how brave he was and how I wouldn't have thought to turn that log over and eat some of them termites and see how they tasted. But as a survivalist and whatever, so I was actually like giving him credit. But to my point, it was something that was between us, and I shared it in some trivial way, and he ended up with a nickname. So things get started when you least expect them. And what you think is okay to share, it just ain't okay. It just ain't okay. And it's not our decision to make. Well, it'll be okay to tell everybody that Tom eats termites. No. Ooh, I'm paying for that one, ain't I? And in a way, I could be mistrusting him or being mistrustful by even having this conversation on YouTube by using his name and, you know, and talking about the scenario because he's still alive. And, well, we're two old codgers that have lost our mind and our brains and some of our bodily functions. And he's my brother from another mother. But I would do my best not to try to embarrass my friend. But there have been embarrassing things that have happened to both of us. And I'm talking too freely about my dear friend Tom. But our lives, in many ways, have been an open book. He was a motorcycle racer, has many awards from his motorcycle prowess and his being able to race old motorcycles. And he was in a very serious accident years ago, which pretty much ended his career in motorcycle racing and damaged his head, much like I had a very serious accident and damaged my head. Therefore, we really think a lot alike now. It's really uncanny how we were chatting yesterday, and he was like, "You're like that too." And he said, "It takes me all day to cook breakfast." And I was just complaining to my sister that it took me half a day to just cook breakfast. Where are the eggs? Where's the pan? What do I put in it? Oh, when was the work? What, and he's like, "I'm the same way." And I was like, "Tom, my dear friend," I said, "I just told my sister that very thing. It took me all day to figure out how to make breakfast. I could see it in my head, but putting it all together and getting to the kitchen and turning on the fire and making sure everything was there and not having to pee somewhere in the middle or have to go reset my little heart tank because I'm 2 feet away from the damn transmitter thing. I mean, just it took me half a day to cook breakfast. Thank God I wasn't starving, but to the point, does everybody need to know that my friend has the same issues that I do? Well, I just blabbed it, you know. So now it's in an open forum in open public or whatever. But this idea, though, that somehow that there are people who would, I'm being open about this, but there are people who would talk about these things just person to person on the phone. And then the next thing you know, your dear trusted friend has told someone else who can now share that with, because now it's not in confidence anymore. When someone else, if I shared this conversation, with my brother in Ohio or something, then he can tell his wife and the rest of the family, and the story can spread. Or I can tell it to a passerby and they can just choose to tell the story at their whim or whatever. But to the point, then you lose control of whatever was private. And there are folks who are collecting private things on purpose. Okay. Listen to me very carefully. There are people who you trust who are collecting data and trying to be your trusted friend when you should be very, very weary of what and why they're so interested. Y'all, please pay attention to what I just said. It's very important. There are folks, so, oh, I'm your buddy. Yeah, really? Seriously? When they're looking for tidbits of stuff that they can share. Now, why they want to share it, why they want to collect it, I don't know, but I think some of these folks have delved into darker issues. Okay. I think that some of their something has been swiped by the dark side, quite frankly. Because why would you collect pieces of dirt on someone, or that? See, now I had an ex-wife that was like this, so I could never understand it either. All right, but she loved to know something about somebody. Oh, really? And then later on, she'd hold it against them. Well, if you don't do what I say or help me with what I want, I'll let everybody know that you smoke weed and that you're a librarian and that you're a something something. And, what? She did that to people. Another good reason why I divorced her. But I found out some of this stuff later on. After I divorced her, I started talking with people. And you trusted your wife, right? And I was like, yeah, did you know what she was doing behind your back? No. Well, she got credit cards in my name and forged my signature on checks and things and stuff. What? Where's the trust in a marriage? Where's the trust in personal relationships? Where's the morality in one person to another? Forget a shaman's journey. Shouldn't we just be nice people and not do this to each other? Well, there are people who are doing it, not necessarily as I speak, and I don't mean here, but there are folks who are doing that, luring people in and getting them to believe your side of the story or whatever that side of the story is. And there's somebody I want to mention who has a that y'all would know if I used certain letters to explain anyway. I won't go there, but I've had private conversations going way back to when Brian and I were having conversations on the phone and over the internet about certain people and certain um, YouTube channels that were, it seemed to us that they were really confusing people and leading them down different pathways and things, like with topics like sigils and, different kinds of magic all the time, and you got to use some kind of spell or magic or incantation or something to get something done or to get your, and that's like, that's just not where it's supposed to be at. And if you've already guessed, I'm not mentioning it. But here's the thing, though, that it has confused a lot of people, and that some of these people have been trapped by the dark side because some of these folks followed some of his instructions and some of their instructions. Those people who believed in those types of things. Uh, you know, I've had friends that were witches and Wiccans and all that kind of thing. I was in it myself, and you shouldn't be. I mean, if you're mixing up herbs and things to make a poultice to heal someone, that's the alchemy that should be used. You're using natural earth and natural things to help people, and a natural prayer of asking the Creator to help heal someone with the salve or the potion or whatever it is that you make. But to do incantations and to make marks and sigils in things in order to get these things done is not normal. And folks are still way into that kind of thing. Um, I had my stint and my bout in it, and it is not the way to go because it's so much more simple than all of that. Are there power symbols and signs? Absolutely. Should you use them all the time? No. Why? Because you shouldn't overuse anything. Who gives you the right to use a sigil or a magic spell or something? And there are folks who are doing that because they feel that they have the right to do so. And that's not true. And so, but they're also collecting data on people, their responses to things. Well, how would you react in a situation like that? Well, I think it's stupid and blah, blah, blah. Let me write this down. Because later on, when you come up in a conversation or you're a guest on a show, I'm going to use that against you. I'm going to bring this topic up and I'm going to smack you with what you just said and bring it out in front of everybody in the public. And how do you like that one? Well, wait a minute. What did I do to you? Why do you feel that you should do that? Now, it has been done by some folks. And at it was done to me once a while back. And it was just like, why did you do that? Well, because I wanted to surprise you with the question. Well, why would you want to go and why would you phrase it that way? I mean, it's like, what? I'm pretty damn honest and pretty open about almost everything. And so, why would you try to come in from the side with this thing in some kind of way that it almost sounded like I was trying to avoid a conversation or that I wouldn't discuss this or that something, something, something? I was like, what? Wait a minute. Why don't you just come out and just ask me rather than try to make supposition of something that I said? Or you're already trying to make up how you think I'm going to react about this subject. Oh, stop it. But there are folks like that. So we have to be careful because some of these people are quite literally, I've had people I trusted betray me. Oh, Saturnian sun. And there's betrayal going on right now. Okay. I'm looking at y'all with my little glasses on, but I'm going to take them off and I want to look at you. There is betrayal going on right now. And some of you need to be very, 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 very careful. Okay. Only so much trust more important than mammon. Saturnian sun, it's everyone's prerogative to use whatever they feel necessary to get them through life. But there are people who are doing sigils like for love and for this and that, and it's like, no, because they're not, they're using something they're not sure of. And so that's my point about sigils. Well, somebody told me you use this sign right here and it means this. Are you sure? Well, that's what they said. I'm asking you again, very politely and with concern. Are you sure? Well, but that's what they said. Yeah, but you're trusting. Here we go with trust. You're trusting what this person is telling you when they in themselves may not know if it really works or if it's really true because someone told them, yeah, little squiggly thing right here, guess what? This is going to bring you wealth and this and that. There was a guy out there that was selling these sigils. Oh, my connection is unstable. I must be talking about something that's pissing Bob. I haven't said hi to you recently. Let's have some coffee and tell Bob hi. But there was a guy a couple of years ago that contacted me, and he goes, if you use this sigil, and put it around your car or something, you'll get better gas mileage. And I went, what? Yeah, put this sign on your car or do this, make this little thing, and you'll get better gas mileage on your car. Hey, Michelle, much love to you, darling. But if you'll do this, if you'll send me $14.95, I will send you this little packet of information, and these sigils will help you gain money and sex and love, and your farts won't smell. And this guy was passing around this stuff all over the place, it seemed. And he just suddenly disappeared. But I was like, I'm sorry. But it was interesting because R. Wayne was discussing sigils and a bunch of stuff about the same time. I had run across, there's a bridge down here in South Georgia called the Haunted Bridge. And it's the old Highway 84 bridge between Quitman and Valdosta. They even made a movie about it. And I seen some pictures. And on one of the sections of the old bridge, on top of the bridge, are sigils written and signs, and I was interested in it at the time, and so I started getting into the symbols of those things, and shit started happening around me that I was like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, just weird side stuff. And my spirit guides I wasn't paying too much attention to them at the time. And they were screaming at me, stop looking into those sigils and what they mean. I just wanted to know what they meant. The ones that were painted and spray painted on the highway on those bridges. And I was like, was it evil? Was it like somebody trying to put a sigil down, like as for protection to keep all the haunted spookies away? I mean, I was just interested in who would put them there and for what purpose. And it got me into all kinds of trouble that I was not even aware of. And when I quit searching to find out what the sigils meant that were painted there, it took about a month, but things just calmed down and went away. And I noticed it later, like, as soon as I quit messing with those sigil stuffs, just in trying to, what do they mean? But it meant that I was looking at other runes and what they meant. I was trying to find similarities and why would somebody do this or that. And so my going down the rabbit hole was creating issues because I was writing certain sigils down on a piece of paper as a note. And I was making notes and I was doing this and that. I was just doing research and it got my butt in trouble. So I warn people about sigils. If you're using them or whatever and you're comfortable, good for you. But it ain't worked for me and a lot of other folks. Okay. Because my biggest question is, are you sure? You make that little mark. Are you sure? That's if you're positive, then go for it. But I'm not sure because the information that you may have gotten about that sigil could very well be tainted. And probably because of 1,000, 2,000 years of misinformation, and it's been used for this, and somebody says it's for that. And okay, enough. But my point is, it has everything to do with trust. So does it come from a trusted source? Up to you. Um, it's like, for example, the swastika as a symbol. Hitler abused it because the swastika type design is in many Native American pictures and things and symbols, but it don't mean Nazi, you know? And so There are things, there are symbols that to some people would, well, because if they see a Native American symbol on a cave wall or something, ooh, there were Nazis back 1,000 years ago in the Hopi religion or something. And you go, no, these guys stole it and they used it for their own nefarious purposes. So, but can you trust them? See, it all goes back to who do you trust? Well, anytime now that you see something that is similar to a Nazi symbol, you automatically go to concentration camps and Hitler. You know, you don't think about the fact that there have been traditional people who have used a similar symbol for thousands of years, is my point, and it wasn't nefarious, you see. So let me read what you got. Only so much can. Right. Agreed. So Journey and Son, if you're comfortable with it, go for it. But there are folks who are trying to do things that just don't have a clue and they're trying to act like they know what they're doing. That's my point, or part of my point. But if you learn something and it works for you, then by all means, go for it. But there are folks who are trying to, oh, well, I know this works and I know this and yada, yada, yada. And so I'm just warning people, be careful. Um, Here's the thing, it's good information. It's nice to know that there are symbols that could actually like do something. But at the risk of making a mistake, and I've made mistakes before, maybe you should just like that's out of your league. It's out of your pay grade. It's out of whatever league that that league is in. And unless you've had some sure enough deep training with someone who's used to those kind of arts, then just peripheral information written in a book might not necessarily be the answer and the go to. I'm positive because this author said so. Okay. Now, but to the point of folks using different things for their benefit, electronics is being used in different ways to collect information. Now, one of the basic things is that if anybody were to watch this video, like y'all are doing, there's information being exchanged. So someone might take something that I say in supposition and go, well, he's talking about me. Maybe I am, but maybe I am indirectly. Like I may not be speaking to you directly, but the subject matter is very pertinent to you. Are you eavesdropping on somebody? Are you listening in some way that maybe you shouldn't be? There are people who swipe, uh, you know, for example, they want to spy on their kids, right? What is my child doing? So they have this piece of software that can break into their cell phone so they can see what their kids seeing. They're watching what their kids doing, right? So the little camera's on and they're looking at all their little friends and they're looking at all this. And so what happens later on when they get home and mama goes, who was that boy you were talking to? And the daughter says, what boy, mama? I didn't talk to no boy. Oh, yes, you did. He had blonde hair and pink eyes, and he had ring around the collar. I could see it from the video. And does his mom use Tide? Um, what? Um, is my mother a psychic? Is she, you know? Um, no, she's got an app that is tapped into your phone that allows her to see through your camera when you don't know it. So mamas and papas and whoever else might have that can check on the kids. What are they doing? What are they studying? Are they watching porn? Are they having porn? Are they doing porn? You know, and the other party doesn't know. Now, this has been an issue, but it's becoming more of an issue because people want to know others people's business when it ain't none their business. Because a year or so ago, 2 years ago, I had certain things that were going on that people were in my business that had no business being in my business. They this is none your business. And I took a month or so spell to where I wouldn't talk about anything, and I even talked about that I wasn't talking about anything because I had lost trust in my some of my spirit guides. It seemed like some of the information had been messed with somehow, um, you know, and that things weren't clear, and it seemed like, and then I found out that there were people who were actually a- avidly trying to get in my business. So when it ain't none your business, then why are you trying to get in it? And why do you want to know certain things so that you can share it random with people? Well, I know this about Dave. Well, who gives a rat's ass? But why are you bringing it up, and who gives you the right to discuss something like that anyway, whether it's pertinent or not? And I've had this happen on a couple occasions. Like somebody seems to they think they have some inside information on me. Oh, really? I've shared pretty much. There's not a whole lot I have not discussed with y'all in some shape or form in a video somewhere. But the idea, though, that to trust, so I take great pains. I mean, and sometimes it's downright painful to not say anything. If someone speaks to me in confidence, it stays there. Now, if someone discusses something in confidence with me, what they discuss I might have known 3 or 4 or 10 people over my lifetime that had a very similar, if not in some cases, almost exact kind of reactions to meds, or were bipolar like me, and just, but the idea, though, that if I were to talk about people that who are bipolar, it would include this person who I just had a conversation with. But there are 20 other people that I've known in my lifetime who are or were bipolar. And the only reason they're not bipolar now is because they're dead. And they might be bipolar in another life. I don't know. But the idea, though, that if I talk about bipolar, I'm talking about all these people I've known, not just this one person. I have not mentioned their name. I have not given up the fact, if I say a friend of mine, it could have been a friend of mine 20 or 30 years ago that has passed away or whatever. But to the point, though, my friend um, Tom and I were discussing, medications and taking too many, and being, confused with the medicines that we take, and that being some of our problem. He's a year younger than I am. And so, and apparently born around the same time of the year because he just had a birthday. But to the point, though, I'm talking about my friend as a friend, but he might not appreciate me discussing this on an open forum on YouTube. You know what I mean? So I love you, Tom. Please don't be mad. But um, I won't talk about his hemorrhoids. No, I'm kidding. I don't know if he has hemorrhoids. But to my point, He would laugh at that. I don't know. Maybe he really does have hemorrhoids. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up. It was a joke. It was a joke, son. It was a joke. But with this, we have to understand, because of rumors going around between people, subject matters that come up, strange topics, weird questions. Some certain people have asked some folks, well, why do you do this? Or here, help me out, or let me do this for you, or blah, blah, blah. And they wheedled their way into your collective hearts. And somehow all of a sudden you're like, oh, we can trust this person, or maybe it's people, when you really can't, because they've got a nefarious something up their butt. Hey, Joe, how are you? Could our spirit guides lose trust in us? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Joe. Years ago, Joe, now this is personally, I say I've got a spirit guide and I've got a guardian angel. I, it just seems to work out for me. Now, the guardian angel is guarding me, but he's also guiding me, but is more of a protector. The spirit guide is less of a protector in that I'm going to stand beside you and hold up a sword and ward off evil demons, where they will have and but come to my aid. But the idea, though, that the guardian angel was there when I was born as my guardian angel. My spirit guide came later because I went looking and asking for the spirit guide when the guardian angel was already assigned to me. Now, maybe, hopefully, that may make sense to you in some skewed way. But so my spirit guide gave up on me years ago. Just said the hell with me. I was in a bipolar thing. All I was could do was think about suicide and dying, and I can't make it. I don't want to make it. I don't want to be here. I'm, you know, I've done some mean, bad, and ugly things, and nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. I'm just going to eat some worms. There's no salvation for me. I just want to get the fuck out of here. And I was too chicken shit to do it. Um, and my spirit guy said, adios. You can protect this sucker if you want to, but I'm out of here. So, but it was up to me for me to like, wait a minute. So, listening to my guardian angel, who was doing their damn dead level best to like keep me from, doing something really stupid, um, for me to collect my thoughts and to accept my spirit guide back. It wasn't until I started into my shaman training very early on. When I left the Christian religion, hey Katniss, how you doing? My spirit guide is face palming. I think I know what you mean by that. If there are family, our spirit guides are truly our family, and they love us, you might what? And they might stand in the sidelines, but they never leave you. I would agree. I would agree with that, Susie. My spirit guide walked away, but he was only a question or a thought or a hey, you know. And it was like, oh God, Barry, please. Whose birthday got hijacked? So a pain in the butt. A state funeral. I have a good friend of mine. Her daughter's birthday was the 11th, September the 11th, and I just hate it for her. But she was born after it and not on it, but it is the same date. But I sent her a text and sent her a happy birthday yesterday. It's time for a 20. Oops, missed it by a minute. Now, I want you all to look at me in the eye. And I'm warning you, there are folks out there who are collecting things on you that you do not know about, and that you should be very careful who you trust with stuff. Okay. And they will try to bring you in and sweet talk you. I cannot be any more specific than that at the moment. But there are folks who are actively trying to get your stuff. You may know them, you may not know them. There are folks who are collecting stuff in their tiny little brains. Well, he said something about blah, blah, blah. You know, he said he don't like grandma's chicken salad when he'd been lying about it all these years. And next time I see grandma, I'm going to tell her because he's been lying to her. I mean, there's stuff like that going on, but it's more complicated. But there's stuff like that going on, and we can't allow it to happen. Now, what do I mean by that? If you find yourself in a situation and you hear something that maybe is none your business, but somebody else is repeating it like it should be your business, you should question whether or not the person who's telling you, whether or not it's any of their fucking business. I cussed again. I'm sorry. But that's how pissed I am about some of this, because there are folks who, now I'm talking about within my own self, that have said some things about my condition. Well, why should I go see my pops? He ain't really sick. He's complaining he's in the hospital. He's in the hospital for a heart attack. So what? You know, meaning my daughter. And her excuse for, not coming to see me, he'll be okay. It was still a heart attack. I was still having issues. I still almost took a dirt nap. But how is it your decision that you make that it's nothing? I'm I'm making this out to be a big deal. Uh, what? It's about trust and being honest and telling the truth, which there were lies and no truth and made up stuff and a lot of dishonor. So there are folks who are doing it on a lot of different levels. And why they think they have to do it, I don't know. There are some folks who I absolutely believe have been hijacked by some shadow folk. What they're doing, I don't absolutely know if they're doing it like on purpose, with a purpose, to collect little tidbits of trivia that they can use and drop in a chat or something, or embarrass you in some way, or I don't know. Maybe it's the personality of these people. I've worked at jobs where there are people who are like, if I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about. As an engineer, I had issues with this. They would, some of these people, I'd work on their machine and they'd go, well, Mr. Dave told me to do it like this. And I'd go, no, I never said anything like that. Well, the operator said he told me that you told him to do it like this. I said, no, 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 no. So when there were hundreds of machines in two different plants and all these operators, it was really easy for somebody, to cover their tracks by saying, well, Mr. Dave told me to do it like this. It was, so I had to get things right with those people individually. And as I've said, those were the people who gave me those going away parties on my last day while working at Prestolite. So I turned people who were using me as a scapegoat for their mistakes, gave me a send off because I learned how to become friends with them. We became allies instead of, having friction or whatever. So you have to gain their trust. Well, what? You have to gain their trust. You have to follow through and prove that you can be trusted. And there are folks who are losing that battle big time. And we should be wary of some of these people because I don't know where they got their intent or where they got headed down this path, but it ain't the shaman's path. It ain't the red road. Whatever they're on, whatever they're doing, and for whatever reason they're doing it, it is not good. It just isn't. So, excuse me, there are lessons on both sides of this. So, for me to be a shaman, for someone that I want them to be able to talk to me, I want to be able to help them spiritually and help guide them in whatever issues they may have. For whatever my 10 cents worth is, but that doesn't mean that I get to share what their problem is or what their, you know, any personal data. Now, like I said, someone recently said something to me about being bipolar. And I said, well, I was bipolar. We used to have a club of us, of friends of mine through the theater group and other things that we have this little bipolar club. We'd all get together and be bipolar together, so, but I won't mention your name, but I'll talk about bipolar. I won't mention you directly in any way. But your symptoms are like the rest of us. And we found out one of the best ways to deal with our being bipolar was to get together with other bipolar people and go, ha, 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 ha. Oh, so you do this too, huh? Wow, ain't that? Well, and I do that. Oh, I've done that before. And it was so much easier to deal with our quote bipolarism when there was five other people or six other people drinking coffee and laughing about it. Hey, Diane, how are you? Oh, great big hugs right back at you. Barry says, I have guards. I can't handle this. I'm glad you got a gauntlet that works. I got skeletons in my closet. I wonder what you'll think about me after they're revealed. Listen, I have discussed my skeletons, if that's what they be. And y'all still come and sit with me. So, um, unless you have been like going around eating people secretly in your closet, I'm, I don't, it's, here's my point, Joe. Regardless of what you've done, it's in the past. It's what you do now and tomorrow and in the future that matters. So, whatever's in your closet, okie doke, it'd be an interesting story if you were willing to share. But I changed my opinion of you. I know you from now. I don't know you from then. Whatever then was would just help me to understand how you got to now. you know, does that make sense? Um, well, thank you, said Turney, and I believe in you guys too. I really do. Yeah. Wait, what? I might have to draw the line on cannibalism. Yeah. Eating grandma, used to be the thing back in the day. But we don't do that kind of thing in polite society anymore, at least not that I'm aware of. So most of us don't have Kulu or whatever that is. Now I, I swear to God, they're spreading this thing about monkeypox like peanut butter, and crunchy peanut butter. Cosmic hugs, Michelle. I hope you're getting over your cold. It's a shame. There's so many people that have had colds and projectile stuff and other stuff and stuff and stuff. Um, my sister down in Florida, she was like, "Oh man, I was so sick, and this person's had this, and this other person related is they're all sick with some kind of something," and I'm like, "Lord have mercy, I had a heart attack, and I've had a couple of I've had some minor side effects with all these drugs that I'm taking, but holy shit, I ain't nowhere near the sickness y'all are at." And I just had a heart attack, Oh, I'm counting my blessings. You bet your ass. Especially after I will just mention this because I'm here, but um, that when I got my blood work back on Thursday, it's like my cholesterol and everything is as good as the doctor's, and he's like a 35-year-old kid or 30-year-old kid. He's a youngin' compared to me. Oh, and I'll be 70 on the 24th. Not that I'm soliciting cards and money. I'm not. I would love if anybody's in the neighborhood though to. I really want to go kayaking. I'm. I would really like to get on a river anywhere near my birthday. Uh, doesn't have to be. It's on a Saturday, and it doesn't have to be that Saturday. That ain't where I'm going with this. But that's just physically when my birthday is. But I was thinking of on around that weekend or afterwards. It, it was the third. I wasn't sure, Diane. I wished him a happy birthday somewhere around there. Um, something said I thought it was the 7th. And I was like, but I started about the first of the month to wish him happy birthday. That's weird you brought that up. It's like they just made fun of us. Oh, wait, I missed something. What I kept in mind is to stay on target. My target is no harm to others. Joe, it's as simple as that. It sounds silly, stupid, and whatever, but it doesn't take a God to do that. To do no harm to others means to be respectful and to be humble and So to do no harm, if you look at the very finite, it encompasses everything. I like everything. It's like they made, oh, monkeypox, what a joke. No, it's a true thing, but you know what? Saturnian Sun, it's happening amongst gay men. That somehow fudge packing has got something to do with it. But they don't want to be, you know, talking about it. Oh, well, it's just the gay men, and but anybody can get it. Well, yeah, but basically it's with the gay men, and I'm sorry, but if you have certain, but it's whoops, it's about gay men, and um, good, Michelle. Yep, the creator knows your intent always. Well, thank you, Diane. I've been talking about my birthday for the last freaking year, you know, but it's been very interesting becoming 70. I don't know how, and I have just been sharing it with you, my experience, but it's been strange, I've turned a bunch of ages up to now, but this has been the weirdest. But I'm grateful. I'm very grateful that I have made it and that my cholesterol is as good or better than my doctor's, who is young, 40 years younger than me. Oh, there's a big shortage of testosterone. Oh my God. I was watching um, a rugby match, a women's rugby match. Now, my hat's off to them, okay? A women's rugby match, and I have not watched very much rugby in my lifetime, but having watched it today, I was like, holy crap, what an interesting sport. But okie doke. But these women were like pounding each other. And I was like, I mean, tackling, pounding, and like, and I was like, oh, holy crap. It was as bad or worse than women wrestlers because there's a bunch of women on the running around with this football thing and tackling each other. Hey, Fox, how are you? And blessings to you, my friend. Um, but it seemed like there was more testosterone in them women, and I'm not meaning this ugly. They were playing their hearts out and just as tough as they could go. And but I was like, holy crap. There's a couple of them girls just by they'd zoom in close to their face and how they were built. And I was like, holy shit. I would not want to meet that woman. She'd whoop my ass. Not that there should be a reason to. I wouldn't try to give her a reason, but it almost looks like if you cross-eyed looked at this lady, she'd just whoop your ass. And I've known women like that and could whoop my ass. So, but the idea that it's like, and one of the things that just kind of scratched my head, and um, there are more women who are trying to be manly, and there are more men who are trying to be more feminine. I mean, the women want to prove themselves that they're as good as a man. No offense, ladies, but why? I'm sorry, but I don't grow up as a man going, well, as a man, I just want to prove that I can be as lovely and pretty and dressed as a woman. I mean, my thinking just don't go there. It's like, what is normal these days? Well, normal these days mean, well, I could be a woman if I want to. So I'm thinking for my 70th birthday that I'm going to come out as a lesbian. All right. I mean, I just, I've always wanted to be a lesbian and I've always had lesbian traits. And there are some women that I was with that thought I was a lesbian. And so maybe for my 70th birthday, I'm going to come out and make the declaration that from now on I want to be, looked at as a lesbian. Not that it'll do me any good, but God forbid. But yeah, I'm laughing on the inside too. I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. But to my lesbian sister and granddaughter, okay. Not that I want to share with them, but never mind. But anyway, I thought it was funny. I thought it was humorous. But why not? What else have I got to do? So there's got to be humor out there somewhere. And if y'all ain't laughing, shame on you. Good for you, Diane. LOL. Thank you. Nope, not feminist here. I am a girl. I identify as a girl. Good for you, Susie Q. Be safe, all finished ironing. All right, Cat, just be safe. Well, no, I don't know about cutting the thing off, but major uh, imbalance of masculine. Oh, and femininity. Oh, Miss Pearl, you are so absolutely right about that. And it's somehow mentality wise. And I mean, you know, if a girl wants to play football, go for it. My question is, quite frankly, but why? Well, if you want to play football, then play football because you like the sport. Don't play football because you want to prove yourself as a girl that you're better than a boy. And play football because you like to. You want to play football. You want to. Some girls was like, she wanted to be a quarterback. Then be a quarterback. Not because you want to prove to all the little boys that you can do it. And play football because you love it. Play it because you want to be the best. Play it for the sport. And in the meantime, you can show all them little boys that's a sidetrack. But if you're doing it to prove to all the little boys that you can do it, I would question that motivation. Play it because you like the sport. If whatever. There are guys who like to do that water dancing. The water ballet. I'm sorry, but that just seems water sports are great and that kind of thing, but to want to do water ballet, yeah, that might be a little feminine, but okay. I can see how it and it does. Water ballet requires a lot of strength and stamina and and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's like you know a tall girl saying that hey, I want to be one of the Harlem Globetrotters. You know, wait a minute, I'm sorry, but the Harlem Globetrotters are tall black men that are from Harlem that trot the globe playing basketball. But here's a tall woman who wants to be okay, tall basketball lady wants to be a Harlem Globe. But there's a 5'5" white girl that wants to be a Harlem Globetrotter. Now I'm making this up, but maybe there is. And you go, I'm sorry, honey, but yeah, you just don't fit the profile. But I want to be a Harlem Globetrotter. Yeah, okay. You can be the ball girl. Yeah, I want to be a Harlem Globetrotter. Okay. Does anybody even know who the Harlem Globetrotters are anymore? Uh, the only thing I have in common with, oh, I'm sorry. Right. If it ain't hurting nobody and it's two consenting adults, and you're happy, go for it, you know. Katniss, yeah, love back to you. The BFL, the Butch Football League. Yep. I mean, I'm all for girls having basketball teams and being. I mean, watching those ladies play rugby today was an eye opener. Okay. I mean, I was like, "You go, girls." But my point is that they were playing in their own league. There weren't girls playing trying to be in the men's league. They were all playing rugby, but they were playing rugby in their own respective leagues. And that healthy balance. Yep, there should be Fox, but just got a little person. Are you joking with me, or did they really get a midget? Oh, and you can't call them midgets. I don't know what you're supposed to call them now. Dwarves or little people or yeah, but they're. I swear to God, Fox and the rest of you, there are so many Twinkies out there now that I'm like surprised. I mean, men that like to like share their wives. I mean, like a lot. There are men who like to participate with other men with their wives. There is just some stuff that I call it a short ass. Wait, what? Female friend of mine wanted to play football and brought a baseball bat to the game. Yeah, I wanted to be an astronaut, but I can't. I'm too crippled, but that ain't stopping me from being a big fan. There you go, Joe. No joke, a little globetrotter, honest to God. Oh my God, that must be funnier than crap. Oh my God, I would have thought. Now talk about being politically incorrect. I love it. A midget globetrotter, short ass. I don't know why, but it's this message is held for review. What the hell? I can see it's a plane running across like, trying to keep up, I mean, the ball would be bigger than they would, but, never mind. Don't step on him there, Curly. you know, Holy Jesus. Hey, let's, hey, they could use dwarf tossing, midget, midget, tossing, that was a sport for a while, but anyway. Goodness gracious me. But, continuing on to keep the thread going about trusting. Now, here's one thing. We're making jokes here in the chat about stuff, and we're trusting each other, and that nobody's being cruel to anybody or anything, but we're making jokes about little people and midgets on the Globetrotters, but nobody's, but we can all smile and laugh and tell a joke without hurting somebody's feelings, right? So that's, guess what? That's because we trust one another, okay? we hung out enough to where we trust one another. And if somebody got a little out of line, you know, Barry will whoop on them, or we'll or we'll sick Miss Pearl on them. Oh, Miss Pearl, I had a little birdie told me recently that you and I should have a conversation, like a conversation, and that might be helpful. So you have my permission to give me a call sometime if you want to on the real live phone. So, but a little birdie told me that. So anyway, thought I'd share. I have a delay. Oh, midget wrestling is alive and well in Florida. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Little globe trotter. Call him the the midget trotter. I got a cripple joke. What's the hardest part of eating vegetables? The wheelchair. Oh my God. Oh, that's as bad as dead baby jokes. Oh, I can't remember any dead baby jokes at the moment. But it does remind me of a Helen Keller joke. What happened when Helen Keller, fell off the cliff? She screamed her fingers off. How did Helen Keller? Okay, no hurry, but just that we should have a chat. So, but okie doke. How did Helen Keller burn her fingers? Trying to read the waffle iron. How about that one? You know, what did Helen Keller say when she fell down the well? Are y'all watching? You saw the play when I was 7. Oh, I was in the play, The Miracle Worker. I was Dr. What was his name? It was a very short scene, but I was in The Miracle Worker, the play, actually twice. I mean, there was the production of the play, which was a couple of weeks, and but then I was in it a second time. Someone and I played the same part actually. So did y'all get that? Y'all laughing? Oh, good, good, good. You know, it's a horrible joke. It's a horrible joke. It's a horrible joke. But it's still funny. You know, it was like this. A friend of mine the other day, we was talking, and he said something about a nagger, and I said, that reminds me. I said, um, Mickey Mouse went up before, the judge, and the judge looked down at him and he goes, Mr. Mouse, he said, I can't give you a divorce because your wife is black. And that's, that, and Mickey said, I never said she was, I said she was a nagger. She's always nagging at me to do this and to do that. She's a nagger, Your Honor. And he granted him the divorce. So, but there are there are certain things that are like, you said what? Yeah, well, she's a nagger. Yeah, well, but I can't give you a divorce because she's of a different race. No, she's a biatch. uh, but anyway, that was like the similar is like, I never, Mr. Mouse, I can't give you a divorce because your wife is crazy. And Mickey said, I never said she was crazy, Your Honor. I said she was fucking goofy. How about that one for the top off? In that little Mickey Mouse voice. But anyway, enough of that. A little bit of humor in all this, but you got to trust people. You got to trust for what they're saying. Like, Your Honor, I never said she was crazy. I said she was goofy. Um, wait, um, but to the point though, are you trusting in what I'm saying? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you believing me? You know. Um, but anyway, I went too far, eh? If I go too far, I trust someone around here will rebuke me. Well, that one was probably too far right there. But anyway, but to the point though, there are folks who are using trust to whatever advantage they think that it's to, for whatever in their mind they think it's to their advantage. I mean, I keep bringing up this other question, like people are going out, and I really wonder, these free games, these free apps that they spend millions that in commercials. So why do they want you to play this free game? What's the deal? Oh, but it's free. We could play it and blah blah blah. But why? Why is it free? Why are there millions of dollars on commercials, through the commercials on the internet and other things? They're spending money to give you something free. Don't you find that suspicious? They're watching you, dumbass. Well, but I'm just playing the game. Yeah, but for whatever you're doing, they're watching you, dumbass. Well, but it's just a game and it's free and I'm not doing anything else. Hey, Lady Spitfire, hope you're doing well. Honestly. But don't you think that these people are watching your ass for whatever dumb reason? They're collecting data. They're watching you, dumbass. I'm sorry. Some of these games that are live and these people are so wrapped up in it, and oh, but it's free. Yeah, okay. Should you not question why some of this stuff is free and why are they pushing you on it? It's like, for example, I did a video a while back about Grammarly. And I'm seriously, like, I saw another commercial today about Grammarly on the computer. Oh, about why are you getting Grammarly? And it's a free download and it's free this and that and the other. And get Grammarly. It can help you to learn how to speak and to talk and everything. And Grammarly this. And I'm like, that commercial is costing money. But Grammarly's a free download. So did you not know that you can get the same thing through a free download of Open Office that corrects your stuff and helps you out? But it's been free out there for years, if not decades or more, and open source software. And it's as good or powerful as any of the Microsoft stuff, and it will print and do and all anything you want done. But now they're spending money on commercials on YouTube and other places for Grammarly. That's a free download. Don't you question that? Why? I don't know. But I'm like, I don't want to download it. I already got software that's free. That was free by word of mouth and free by other people talking about open software, and no commercials were made. No one's trying to make me get this for whatever reason. And I still can't figure out why they're spending money for people to download something for free. Nothing is for free. Not like that. Not when there are millions of dollars involved in the advertising of these things. What have they got up their sleeves? I don't know. But if you don't think they're doing something because you're using their product freely, nothing is free. That's right, Michelle. You're going to pay for it somehow. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're making, whatever's going on, they're getting something out of it. You can bet your ass. And if you don't believe it, then you're sadly mistaken in this world. And I guess you'll distrust and buy anything. Does it mean you shouldn't use it? Well, I wouldn't. You know, these people who are some of these recent games, they're just like attached. They're in there. It's spyware. Yep, Steve, it's that too. Too bad I can't turn back time and relearn language arts. Joe, there's always time, honest to goodness. Oh, Saturnian Son's out of here. Okay, good night. They're already gone, but good to see them. Glad they're participating. But you know that there are folks who are trusting in these applications. They're trusting in these softwares, ooh, because it's free, and they're trusting in things that I'm like, y'all ain't asked that this simple question, why? You know, why is this free? Why do you want me to have this so bad? Aren't you just a tidbit skeptical? Oh no, it's free. Boom, and it's downloaded, and it's there, and they're using it, and I'm like, wow, that was quick. You know, it didn't take you 5 minutes to go. Woo, download. As always, good to see you. You too, Barry. You're not talking to me, lady Spitfire, but it's good to see you too. Um, so, you know, am I just too skeptical? Am I too jaded? Well, here's the thing. You know, I trusted, you know, the government, and they cut my Social Security checks several years ago. They screwed all of us baby boomers. Well, I trusted the government in my Social Security. They changed the rules on us boomers, and then they changed to this, and now I'm living, you know, pretty much in poverty. I mean, I'm getting by, but that's not the point. I should be making, you know, $500-600 more a month, which would really be nice. And then I could afford to fix some things around here. But the idea that they cheated us, not just me, but they cheated us. They cheated all of us baby boomers because they changed the law a few years back. You know, we trusted them. Oh, and then there's the government, and then there's, you know, the doctors and hospitals and things that I've been to in the past where they gave me medicines that actually almost killed me. This time around, they saved my ass. But, you know, there are other people that have had, there have been a lot of people, my dear friend Tom and I discussed. We've lost a lot of our friends these last couple of years. There are some of these baby boomers who are dropping like flies, which is just like, what? You know, um, some of these folks made it to 65 or 6, and that was it. And I'll be 70. I'm proud. And, blood wise and cholesterol wise, and so far there's no, nothing on my brain that's bad. They're going to do some more chest x-rays and things, for my heart and lungs and so forth. Make sure I don't have a cancer or anything like that. But at the moment, I'm as healthy as I can possibly be, especially for my age. So I cannot complain, and I ain't, other than that I just feel fatigued all the time because of my heart. But we're working on that, right? So it's attitude, it's, gumption, it's giving in, it's, I'm really glad that I'm still here. Um, and I realize now that some of the reason that I'm still here is to like, maybe, we need to keep talking about some of these things. There are some people who have bamboozled us. They have gotten us to trust them when maybe we shouldn't oughta, you know? And we need to stand up for ourselves and go, hang on, wait a minute, what's going on here? And if I got to be that old chap that, is just farting on everything, like, are you sure you want to keep downloading these silly apps, these free games that someone who has spent millions of dollars to produce and to um, 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 get you to play? Now, if they say, War of the Eagle Craft or some shit at 9.95, download now. Okay, I could see that because it's an advertisement. But play this game, free download. You ought to go, wait a minute. With all the stuff that goes on with, them folks who don't like us much and want to see our demise, and they're watching and looking. So you want to go ahead and take their word for it? Because somebody's got a bunch of bucks. Somebody's selling us a free deal. It doesn't smell fishy to anybody. Who's Tom Jones? It's not unusual to be won't by anyone. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait. Lady's name made me hear Tom Jones in my head. Oh. um, I, I think Tom Jones might still be alive, believe it or not, Barry. She's a lady. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. And the lady is mine. Yeah. Swimmer. Oh, yeah. My grandma, God bless her soul, and I can tell this on her after all these years. She said at one time, sells miracle water late night TV. Miracle water, woo. Um, she made a comment one time that they actually took her to a place in Tampa that Tom Jones was at a dinner playhouse or something, and they took Granny there, and she said, "Oh my God," he sang to her, and she said it made my panties wet. And I was like, Grandma. And she had made my panties wet. I was like, oh my goodness gracious. And she was just as red as the color red is. But anyway, Peter Popoff. Yeah, I could sell snake oil. I used to back in the day when I was a carny. Come on in and try your luck and, being a carny barker. And yeah, you got to be able to sell snake oil in order to get folks to play some of the games that I was a barker for. And it is a form of hypnosis, talking people into wanting to play a game. And you build on their confidence. You find a slight little flaw. You find something in their ego, and then you manipulate them with a word or two, or I bet you could do it. And what about your girlfriend or your wife there, or your little kid or something, or that You use that, you find somewhere where there's a little bit of trust, and they play your game, and they pay you money, and then they most of them lose. And you go, thank you very much. But if they win one, you go, there goes another one, and you announce it to the whole midway. But for example, okay, trust an example. Now, for many years, I worked on the carnival. I literally lived in the office trailer at night when the show went down. I slept on the office floor with all the money that we collected, like right next to my head in this safe, this box, a lock box, strong box. Protect that with your life, Dave. I was like 14 years old, 13 years old for the first time around. But anyway, sleeping on the floor and working for the summer to collect money so I can buy my school clothes. Hey, Richard, how are you? Good to see you. Miracle water. Yeah, absolutely. Well, think about this. The Catholics do it. It's called holy water, but I won't go there. Shame on me. Um, hey, what's this? Go stick your head in some rainwater. You're probably just as good. Anyway, shame on me. I'm sorry, Lord, but doing this over some water, maybe. Do I believe that water could be holy and powerful? That's another story. Whether a man can wave his hands over it and make it holy, that's another story. But anyway, 12:12. Yeah, to my clock that will be. It's got another 2 months, and my clock will be right again. I'm on Central Time. But there are folks who are trying. They are using trust. How many of you ever really, honest to God, read the EULA? You know, the end user's license agreement thing, right? We just go click, I agree, and on with it we go. Why? Because, because, because I love you. Um, because one way or the other, if we want to use this app, but there's a part of us that says, well, let's trust them. Yeah, right? Stuff that goes on with Facebook. I have told folks I go on Facebook once every 3 or 4 months, and I do a live stream and tell people, hi, I'm alive and hope you all are doing well. And that's as far as it goes. I don't use Messenger. I don't use none of it. But there are folks who are having issues with that stuff. Um, Folks being able to look at your camera, open your camera if you're on Facebook or something like that, be able to see what you're doing, kind of thing. What? What? Oh, hell no. If I want you to see what I'm doing, I'll turn the damn camera on myself, but you ain't turning it on for me. No, 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 no. I've heard of too many people who have had their Facebook accounts hacked and that somebody's watching me. No, 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 no. Sorry. That kind of stuff just, should not be allowed, should not be. But, there are things that people can do and they pull you in through trust. Oh, trust me, I'm your friend. I see 111 every single day. It's pestering me. Oh, yeah. Have you heard about e-girl water? It's where attractive internet streamer women sit in a tub. They sell the water to gullible men who desire. I wonder if she sells her socks and underwear. I mean, Joe, seriously. I have paper taped over my cameras for the chat. Oh, really? I can, my camera that's attached, and the other one's turned off, but it's usually sitting on the floor. So if somebody wanted to watch me, they could listen. They wouldn't hear much, but they'd be looking at the floor. So major cooties and bathwater, guys. Yeah. Richard says Facebook is bad news. I gave up on 3 years ago and feel great for doing it. I don't miss it at all either, Richard. And I gave it up at least that long ago. And I agree with you. And I mean, I still got an account and I will still post a video every 3 or 4 months for my friends and family who use it all the time. Oh, Joe, I know they sell dirty underwear. I know. I was wondering if they were selling their socks too as part of the joke. But anyway, because, there are men and women who are much into the feet thing. I don't get the feet thing, but okie dokie. Oh, and shoes. There are those fetishes. Socks. Ooh, man, I I got a semi-dirty pair right here, but they're my own. Oh God, that reminds me of a dirty joke that I am not going to tell. But anyway, I'm bothered by that kind of thing myself. I find it interesting, you know. Boy, howdy, I find it interesting. Over the years, back in the day, people were had some kinky things going on, but they kept it to themselves. Now they're putting it on the internet. You know, young people, old people, grandmas are doing porn, and I'm like, what? I'm sorry, granny's doing porn. You got to be you can't. No, seriously, there are websites set up that where grandmas do porn, and I'm like, no, grandpa's not doing porn. Sorry, no. I learned to only be friends with people I'll probably never meet. Yeah, well, here's my thing about phones and laptops. If anybody agrees to have their password saved on any electronic device is a fucking fool. Okay? I learned years ago, many, many years ago, do not put that kind of stuff on your electronic devices. No, don't agree to remember my password because it's convenient. No, don't do it. I've got a book down here. I've talked about it before. It's My Brain. My dear friend Tom, that I keep talking about, he has developed the same thing on his own. He's got a book that where all the numbers are written down because he's lost 3 cell phones because of issues and things and having to change numbers so he couldn't remember my phone number, and my phone number that I have for him is 3 phones old. And so I'm ready. I'm ready. It's 2:19 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And so but this idea that people, they put their this and their money and their bank and everything is synced together. No, don't sync your phone to your this account. Oh, but it's so convenient. Make it inconvenient. Remember your damn passwords. Don't have the same one for everything. That's why I got a book, because for this account, I've got this password. For this account over here, I've got another one. And so this idea, but none of them are saved, you know. Now, my username might be, which a lot of times is my email address. Well, okay, that's kind of sort of public. So my email address. That's my username. All right, but you don't know the password. And it's from two unrelated things that if somebody said, well, it's the name of your dog or something like that. Nope. That that my passwords are based on things that are unrelated to anything in my life except to me. No one else would know about the numbers or the name or whatever or the combination thereof because no one would know except me. They don't know what the number is. They don't know what the derivative is. They don't know where I got the number. I mean, because it was a number that was assigned to me that nobody else knows. A lot of electronic stuff has. See, that's my question about these free games. They're free and everybody's playing them, but while you're playing them, what's going on with the program? What is the app doing in the background? You know, we really don't know. Oh, well, yeah, I do. It's trusted. There are 14 million people who've downloaded it, and there are 14 million suckers, in my opinion, but that's my opinion. So, um, I've known enough programmers and I did enough programming way back in the day with BASIC to be able to know that you can write some code that if A is less than B, then this happens. If A is greater than B, then this happens. If A equals B, then this happens. You write that code in. And so that if there's something that you want, then you basically tell it so. If this blah happens at blah, then this. So good night, Susie Q. Blessings to you. And good to see you again. Excuse me, I'll see. Joe, you have a good night yourself. And good to see you again. Microwaves, refrigerators, and much more now have cameras. Yep. And there was something that I saw that they were able to use something and like a filter or the little red eye that when I point my remote to the TV that turns red, that they're actually can use that even though there's not supposed to be a camera in my TV, they can actually use that thing as a camera. And I'm like, what? Well, they ain't gonna see much of my house, but that's not the point. If they want to spy on me, they some perverted sons of bitches because I ain't doing nothing. Probably put them all to sleep. But the idea, though, that there are some instances where because of the technology, they don't actually have to have a camera. Now, how about that shit? Wait, what? Yeah, so I always close the lid and I have a plug in camera to the side, which, like I said, is most of the time pointed at the floor. And so, my audio, well, they're going to hear me listening to stories or whatever, but, um, but other folks ain't like that. They've got their stuff set up in the living room or in the dining room or on somewhere where it's public and they can view stuff going on in the house that where they're maybe other people or phone calls or businesses or whatever. I'm an old fogey. Who cares, right? But that's not the point. There are people watching, and there are some people who are very perverted in why they watch, what they watch, their motives for watching. And we just need to be really more careful and be aware that this shit's really going on. And there are people who we trust that maybe we shouldn't. That's my point. But I have stated that a couple of times. So when I got my TV, it asked for my email. Well, I had yeah, it had to know my email address, but I don't have anything connected through the TV. Like um I don't have YouTube on my television that would use my any password or anything. Um, so I would have to log on to my YouTube on the television. Now I didn't know this, but I can take this computer and it will, because of it, they're both on the Wi-Fi. It will throw YouTube on the. Oh, do you want to share this with the TV? My cell phone will do it, right? I can share this with the television without hooking nothing up. And so if I've got something I want to watch on YouTube, but it's too small on the screen on the telephone, I can allow it to talk to the television, right? I haven't done it, but I've seen other people do it. I'm like, well, doesn't that mean now my television knows stuff that it didn't know before? I mean, my cell phone's one thing and my computer's one thing, but now my TV knows it, you know, just saying. But yeah, so look at the permission listed on the game, as a lot of them allows it to look at all your stuff. Yeah, yep, you got to look through the fine print, Steve. That's absolutely agreed. Yeah, we love you, Susie Q. So there are certain things that I have allowed, in the electronic field, but there are certain other things like, no, I'm not going to allow this to happen. No, I'm not turning on this. No, I don't turn on that. If I want to use that application, then I'll allow it to access other stuff. But I learned that unless I'm using something, there are some of these apps have just they're like they're stupid to me. I don't know. Oh, I downloaded this and ain't it so cool? And your screen's so small I can't see it. But if you think and I have downloaded 20, 30 apps before on another when I first got a cell phone. And I started to do it with this one, and I went, nah, nope. If I can't use it like a calculator, then I want to get something. And where's my contact list? Where's a calendar? Because now I've got doctor's appointments. So to be able to have a doctor's appointment on my cell phone, because I don't have a calendar in the house. I'll have to go back to getting paper calendars now. But the idea that okay, but I'm not sharing any information. Yeah, Bluetooth compatible TV. Yeah. Um, I'm agreeing with you on that, Richard. I'm you know I tell friends and family who will listen anymore, use the technology, but don't let the technology use you. I mean, honestly, if if the games have you addicted, then the technology is using you. I don't have it on this computer, but on my other laptop that got fried when the roof leaked, oh well. I had a mahjong, and now the mahjong was to help me, my brain, because I played against the clock. How quickly can I play this game? And I learned to look at the whole board instead of scanning. And there was a lot of stuff I learned that I trained myself because I was playing mahjong against the clock. So, I was my enemy. It wasn't, oh, leisurely, ooh, let's just do this. And sometimes that was good too. But I found that it was more fun for me to um, not just beat the game, but to also how quickly I could beat the game. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I beat this one game of mahjong in about a minute, in under 2 minutes. I was like, I beat the game of, and man, I was getting rid of tiles left, and I was done in 2 minutes. I beat it, cleared them all. Dun, da, da, da. And so that to me was like, yeah, buddy, that's the kind of game I play. Just matching two and getting them matching two and out you go, matching two and out you go, and and see how long it took me to do so. Brain, it was for my brain. But this, or just playing solitaire just for the fun of it, because I don't want to get out cards; they take up too much space. But all this other stuff, I really don't see it. And especially if it's a freebie here, try this, it's free, everybody download it now, I'd be very suspect. So, who can we trust these days? We need to back up with who we're trusting. We need to reconsider and ask the question, why? Why do you want me to download this? Why do you want me to, there are friends who is like, ooh, pass this around. Why? Oh, this is really good. Why? Here, take this, and I downloaded. Now I want you to do it. Why? Wait a minute. Yeah, well, it's really great, but why? I got enough shit on my plate. Why do you want me to do this? Do you not have enough stuff to do? Oh, here, this is really great. They almost like want to force you to have, oh, here's the link. Go here. I don't really want to. But they want to make you feel obligated. Well, did you check that link out? Did you follow up on that? What did you think of it? And now it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't do it. Well, I sent it to you. What's wrong? You don't want to follow this link? You don't want to download this thing? Well, no, actually, I'm not into that. And I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but, and why are you so insistent that you want me to try it? That's another level of mind warp, mind control. That whatever it is they're trying to get me to try has warped them such that they gotta. It's almost like the body snatchers, in that whatever is controlling them, they've got to get other people to share. Oh, you've got to try this. Why? And why are you pushing it onto me? Oh, it's really cool. Watch this video. Play this game. Try this app. We should be questioning why. Seriously. If it honestly helps you to do something, okay. But these people that have these apps that keep up with their finances like all the time, why? I know how much money I got in the bank. I don't have to know, but ooh, I got this, and ooh, it's doing, and what? Oh, and I've got this new app, and I get Chime and this one, and Dave will give you $50, or before payday. And what? I mean, here, get this card and we'll, front you $20 before payday if you're out of money. What? You don't think that's selling your soul to the devil somehow? I'm just saying that out of the blue, they start there's another app that you could get as much as $500 as a an unsigned loan. That Dave will put $500 in your account, or whoever it is, right? Well, I wish I could do that. I wish I could just say, "Ooh, there's $500 that's in my account." But my point about some of this is that people are just putting their trust into these apps, into their phones, into the system, into the whole thing. But I don't hear a damn one of them asking, but why? Why would you keep all of your data on your cell phone? That's just stupid. Oh, go paperless. No, you're sending me a bill in the mail. You're sending me something. I got my bank statement today in the mail. So I could literally, without an electronic device, open it up and read each place that I used my card, how much money it was, the location, and the code to the store or wherever I was at, the time, the date, on a piece of paper printed out so I can read it. And I'm sorry, but nobody can hack that piece of paper. You're going to have to come to the house and hack it. But you ain't going to hack it on any of my devices. But I have all of my bank statements, what my balances were. No, I'm not going paperless. I'm sorry. You're making money off of me. I'm paying fees. You're going to send me a paper copy, because sometimes electronic shit gets lost. Now, what I do like is, like, if I go to the farm supply, they have my email address. So when I make a purchase, I get an e-receipt. So not only do I have a paper receipt, which sometimes gets lost, now I have an e-receipt that tells me what I purchased, the day I purchased it, and which store. Was I in Thomasville or was I in Moultrie? That's to my benefit. But it's in the form of an e-receipt in my email. I find that to be okie dokie, you know? It's a double whammy. Same thing with Lowe's. Give them my phone number, my email is in there, and so I get an e-receipt from Lowe's. This is what you bought. This is the date. I find that, but it's in the form of an email. It's a statement. It's not trying to get into my business. It doesn't have my bank account, I don't think. But to the point though, it's a backup that I've used to my advantage. Does everybody have my email? No, but it's out there, so uh, there's nothing in my email account. There's no passwords or anything that if they hacked my email account, they could send stuff out using my name. That would be a pain in the ass, but there's no information in there. The information would be, ooh, he does business with Tractor Supply. He does business with Harbor Freight. He does business with Lowe's. Yeah, but I don't have a charge card and I don't use any passwords. It's all my phone number, which is listed in the multi directory. So, if something's already public, I don't see the reason why, if my phone number is public in the phone book, then why shouldn't I give them my phone number at the farm supply because it's already in the directory, but they don't have my cell phone. So that's private. So I know where to cross the line. No, you can't have my cell phone number, but you can have my landline because it's in the book. You can look me up, David No, 254 Zion Grove Church Road. I'm in the Moultrie directory. Okay. So there are certain things where I draw the line and certain things that I'm like, nah, I'm no. But for folks to put any passwords or anything like that or bank statements or whatever, I don't even want to look up my bank account with my cell phone. I mean, I don't even want it in there that I looked it up, you know, because somebody could somehow hack my phone and go, well, this is your account. Yeah, but you don't know how to get in it. Well, and I seriously doubt you would figure out my password, but there are algorithms and things that they can run in the background and ding ding match the numbers. There are all kinds of stuff. But if you're careful with what you use with your electronics, then you can trust mostly that your electronics can't turn on you. Because if you don't give the electronics the information, they can't use it against you. You know what I'm saying? So make yourself a book of passwords and things and stuff and get that shit out. If you've got a cell phone and it's in it, get it out. Do your own search and destroy, remove stuff, reboot your phone so that it starts from zero. There's nothing in it. And and you can start clean. Then if somebody hacks your phone, they ain't got nothing, you know, they ain't got nothing. But they can sneak on you and listen in. But as far as getting passwords and whatever and that kind of thing, nah, they ain't got nothing. So I say trust yourself and not the phone or the system or the app or people who are trying to get you to believe that this is the best thing since sliced bread, because they might not be knowing what, they may have trusted something that they shouldn't have. Oh, 1 million downloads. Yeah, but are they all suckers? If it's a free download and 14 million people downloaded it, I personally believe there's 14 million suckers. Personally, a free download of some game that's they're getting something out of it. Pay attention. So I know I'm repeating myself on those things, but I think I want to share another, 12. What time is it? 2:40, 2:43. Yeah, don't forget the prizes you win from all those stores and online casinos. Richard says, my phone is silent always. I use it mostly for photos and listening to YouTube or podcasts to play. It's like an ancient pagan battle card game from the Witcher world. See, card games, I'm like, it's a card game, and it's convenient because you can't get the cards out. I mean, limited space. When I was in jail, I played, solitaire a lot. We played two-handed solitaire, double solitaire, and stuff like that. But anyway, Steve says I played dominoes against the computer and have beaten over 50% of the time. Yeah, I've done similar. It's great to play against the clock. You know, Mahjong was my, and it's been a couple of years now since the computer got fried, since I played Mahjong. Um, in fact, good night, Pearl. I'll be waiting on your email. Sweet dreams. Thanks for hanging out. Um, I don't trust anything, but I'll be dead before long. Yeah, there might be. Yeah, when I was close to that dirt nap a month ago, um, that's for another discussion. But there are a lot of baby boomers. There are a lot of us that, for whatever reason, um, it just seems like there's a bunch of us dropping like flies. Uh, my brother's in the hospital. My ex-wife passed away 3 or 4 weeks ago now. Um, this person passed away. This person died. That person died. A friend Tom, he's like this person. There are folks our age and younger who are dropping like flies, and I'm like, it's just weird, you know. To be the last one on the list. Well, what about this person? No, he's dead. What about this? No, they're gone. What about her? No, she passed away 2 years ago. What? Yep. You mean we're the only two standing? What about no? They're gone. What about this person? No, they passed away 3 years ago. What? Holy crap! So there's two dead brain guys, me and Tom, who are like have we look around at our mutual friends and people that we've known and nope, they're gone. Nope, they're gone. This, that, no, they're gone. They're nope, they passed. They what? um, that was our discussion yesterday. Seriously? Yeah, they're gone. What about this? Nope, they passed away. What about this? Nope, they're gone. Holy crap. And somehow, years ago, I figured because I was the one that was always pushing the envelope, that I'd be the one that was gone and that they'd outlive me. Interesting how that works out. So, but what I told my sister yesterday, I said, so all them people who talk about, well, Dave, the way you live, well, listen, I outlived your ass and I outlived their ass. So, y'all talk about my way of living and my way of life and go ahead, bitch at me. My cholesterol's better than yours. My blood pressure is down. Now I'm taking a bunch of meds, but it is down and I intend to get healthier again. But this idea that somehow, um, well, you should live better and do well. What's your cholesterol? I'll match mine to yours and see who's better. you know, just saying. And I'm 70, and you're how old? You're 61. You're 58. You're 50. Nah, don't tell me. I suggest to folks live your life the best way you can and as clean of stuff as you can. And keep your heart in the right place. And it's not really hard to do. And trust in the Great Spirit, trust in the energy that's always around us all the time. We're swimming in this stuff. In one of the cards that I pulled, it was the dolphin card, and it's mana. And that mana is all around us. It's the energy of the universe. And the energy of the universe is the creator. It is the spirit. It is the great spirit. And it's in us, it's around us. We breathe it in. We touch it, we swim in it. And if you believe it, and you don't have to understand it fully, just know that this energy is there always for us to absorb, use, focus, whatever. And one of the things is that, um, try to use this energy to focus on your issue. Just ask the creator to help focus the energy that is around you. to correct whatever's wrong. And I've used it over the years on different things for myself to help cure my back and my neck and my knee. I've got more motion in my knee than I did when I was 14 years old when it got broken. And so there are things that my arthritis has gone away. I mean, there are things that, you know, 5, 6, 10 years ago bothered me, don't bother me now. And it's because of my intent and my, my change of thought, um, and some of my lifestyle and so forth. And I've gotten rid of negative and focused more on the positive. And so I'm in better health than I was 10 years ago, as per my blood work that was, so it's like I have proof to myself. Well, Dave, you can't bitch about this because there's the proof in your blood work. Okay. And I gave myself the heart condition. And so, because of too much smoking since I was 12, um, so the idea though that we have control of things, have had control of things for a while now. And some of these tests and everything are proving to myself, I'm still scratching my head over this, into um, you've actually done a few things right, Dave. My knee's in better shape, my arthritis is gone, and through positive, thought and meditation and actions, and quit drinking out of plastic bottles and certain things, you know, there are certain things with my aged body that's actually improved. Now, how do you figure that one out? I'm still working on it, but I am living proof, literally. So I got to keep doing what I'm doing for myself because I want to hang out some more. I want to go canoeing and paddling and all that good stuff. The VA wants you dead. I've been up since 2 a.m., so I'm headed to bed. It's good to see you, Steve, and thanks for the phone call today and sharing. I really appreciate that. I really do. And me and Miss Pearl going to have a conversation or two. So thank you. And that prompted certain discussions and things and modus operandi, and to get people to thinking about, who do we trust and why do we trust, and have we trusted people or things or places or institutions or whatever? Have we placed too much trust in some of these things? And especially with folks who have weird agendas. And I'm going to continue to pray that people will wake up to these, and that folks who are doing clandestine behaviors right in front of us, will, that creator and spirit will show their hand, and that it will be known to all, and we'll all go, ooh, now that's interesting. I didn't know that about such and such. Ooh. And because for myself, there are certain folks and people and things that I just get a feeling. And what I'm hoping is folks will follow their guts a little more, their intuition, and go, should I should I be listening to this at all for whatever reason? Is it really interesting? Why am I listening? Somebody told me to listen in, but I don't really, and you scratch your beard or your head or or twiddle your thumbs or bite your nails or whatever folks do. Since I don't have teeth, my nails are long. That was interesting way to, get nice nails that get in the way. But I'm hoping that folks will really start to wake up more to those folks and things that are watching them. And if I want to watch you, I'm gonna call you and say, "Hey, let's do a chat or something." But I'm good just to have a chat. But there are some folks who are um, their motivation is different. They want to have a video chat, but they want to see something, or they want to watch you, or there's something in there that is like there's a couple of people that I have mentioned with my cell phone to do a duo phone chat because I would like to see you. I've not ever seen your face. I would like to have a chat face to face at least once so that I can know who I'm talking to. Like I've seen Miss Pearl tonight. I'm not sure if I've seen her. I've seen her in her videos, but tonight, watching her draw cards, I have a better picture of Miss Pearl in my head now. So when she's in the chat, I can see her. And it's more for just the visual, right? So I know actually what she looks like. And like Barry, we did a duo chat, and so I know what Barry looks like. I had a picture of Michelle, and I know what she looks like. So when we're chatting, I don't have to make up something in my head. I know who you look like, so I don't have to see you. I already do. Is did that come out right? But there are other people like, no, well, we gotta have a video chat. I gotta be able to see you now. I gotta be and like, I knew somebody like that a couple of years ago. And I thought it was cool to do video chat to watch and have a conversation versus on the phone. But then I also found out that sometimes it was tedious and that they were watching me and they were watching the background. They were watching what was going on in my house. They were observing. They weren't just having a conversation with me, quote, face to face. They were watching everything else around me. And I was like, well, now, okay. And later on, it was like, what is that picture behind you? Well, why are you asking? Well, what does it mean? And what's the symbol of what is this symbol? And what is this? And why do you have that in like it's in my house, but it belonged to a friend of mine, or there's something attached to it, or and and why are you asking me anyway? Why are you being so nosy? I thought we were having a conversation and you're more interested in. Now, I do have a lot of collection of stuff in my house. It is like a museum of stuff. So I can understand, but it wasn't like I can ask, Robert something in the background or something there on his desk or whatever. But I'm just curious where the direction of some of the questioning was like really intense and sometimes even mean. And it's like, wait a minute now, calm down here. And what's your modus operandi? Why are you asking me? And what's this line of questioning? And why should I trust you? you know, it still all relates to trust. So, but anyway, after 2 hours and 44 minutes, um, I'm going to go ahead and cut out. And, but I'm with y'all. There's so many times I'm thinking about y'all and hoping that folks are just like getting an idea of some of the stuff that's going on, and not being paranoid, but taking control of their lives, and like making sure you don't have any passwords in your phone, and making sure that your phone is just for certain things that you need, and to not have all the information in the world locked up in it. you know that's how you protect yourself and your stuff. It's a love you too, Susie Q, and thank you. So I will end. I love you all, I do. And I worry about some of you. Not necessarily more than I should, but more than some folks would understand. That, um, there are times when I wake up in the middle of the night, or which is usually 9 o'clock in the morning. It's the middle of my night. And I'll go, wow, I had a thought about a certain person, and I'm praying that they're, doing okay. And I'm praying that, for whatever reason, they, you all come across my mind when you do, and as it happens, you resemble that. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Um, whoop, 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 whoop. Um, I will continue to pray as I do, and I'm not trying to convince you, but I'm sincere in this. I'm proud to know y'all. I can understand why creators, I didn't take that dirt nap and I'm still here. You too, Richard, honestly. That it's just to be here. And I don't, I hate to use the, that I'm here to be your guide, but maybe sort of, just to be able to bring shit up and discuss it, you know, and maybe tell a dirty joke once in a while and keep everybody laughing. But at the same time, I was discussing this with a couple of friends the last few days, and one of the things is that I find it that my importance here is to keep people, in a positive mode with so much negative going on. And my spirits have been very wonderful in that, help me provide positive reinforcement to folks. We can get through this. We're going to get through it. Now, some of us might not. And for me, having the heart attack and stuff, I've got to rearrange things, and there's a new regime that I have to learn and do and perform. And so, the future is built around this. But at the same side of things, I have been doing certain things right, in that my my blood work was good and so forth. So there are positive in mixed in with the negatives, and it's up to me as to whether what I choose to focus on. Do I focus on, oh my God, how bad my heart is, or do I focus on the fact that, thank you Jesus, my cholesterol and everything came back really good. We can work with this. So knowing and having the power to be able to focus on it and to be able to change it, and having proof over my lifetime, by meditation and getting off of certain medicines and so forth, that I can actually improve my arthritis without taking medicines or other things. Quit drinking out of plastic bottles. Do certain things that I've improved, so um, and buy vitamins, and lifestyle is not really anything special, but I've eliminated all the negatives. I've taken all the worry and all those negative things that were making my bones ache and stuff. And I think people some of their pain is in their joints and so forth, are eat up with other things. And as I release them from my body, it's like my body works better than it did 10 years ago, literally. I have more motion in certain ways than I did before. So, and how's that possible? Because I'm getting older. Shouldn't I be like stoving up and being less able to move? Some days are like that, but um, so it proves to me that if you really try to just be humble and live a decent life and follow that one rule of to do no harm, that and to accept that the universe is all around you. I can be healed constantly because I'm breathing in the universe. I go outside and raise my arms and say thank you to the universe and inhale the universe and all the energy and all the goodness therein and use it to cure and to keep me healthy and believe it. So far, so good. Knock on wood. So I continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings from the universe. It's all around us. We're swimming in it. Please don't forget that. So, as you're walking on a walk, you're walking through the energy of the universe. You too, Miss Michelle. You can't but water. You can't but water in your glass anymore. What? Yeah, the plastic bottles. Oh yeah, we. Yeah, we'll be coming up on that soon too, won't we? But I continue to pray that each and every day that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings in the universe. And for me, I'm still believing. I'm still learning to believe even more. And there are times when I think, well, I think I believe enough. I'm still here. But then there are other days that I'm like, I believe even more today for some reason. I don't know why, but I believe in the universe even more. It's even stronger within me. What happened? Nothing. It's just another day. It's another day of awareness. And I continue to pray in that common way and then in the law of three that is obvious to me that it works is that I will continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you, your friends, your family, and all of your acquaintances will learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings in the universe. And however it works for you, if you want to get rid of something, get rid of something and believe it's gone and make it go away. And if you want to believe in healing, then believe in it. Um, just remember to put your faith in the universe and not so much in a product, however that works. But anyway, I love you all. Richard, Michelle, Isby, good luck to you, my brother. We'll talk soon. Susie Q, always. Barry, dum da da dum. I love you. Cheers to y'all and anybody else that's sitting in the background that ain't checking in at the moment. Good night, good morning. I do love you all. And thank you for being here. Honestly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You graced me with your presence. And so until next time, be strong and be careful where you put your trust. It doesn't mean we shouldn't trust, but we should be more careful and use our intuition more. So, my prayer is that, especially with this trust issue, that people will really start to listen to their gut more. Really listen to your gut more. Yeah, Michelle, there's so many of us that are like on your side and behind you and with you. And just because you're you, you know, and some of us know you have a difficult situation with your son, and I'm always praying for Nate because there's so much in the universe, and but that's that's a more personal thing, and I don't mean to share that, but sort of. Some folks are dealt, difficult situations. Going to have to deal with this heart thing. I'll work it out somehow. You know, it'll work out one way or the other, or I'll be taking a dirt nap. Okay. I was really close to that before. So any day's a good day that I'm above ground. And I mean that sincerely, So, but, we are each other's support. And even though that, I don't talk to my sister every day, and, she still loves me. She was like, well, I was going to call you the other day and see how your doctor's appointment went, but we had some issues down here, and I've had the grandchildren, but how are you? And we caught back up. But, the time between, it doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about my sister, or that she's not thinking about me, or just because there's time or distance doesn't mean that folks ain't paying you attention, or that prayers ain't coming your way, because a lot of times they are. And now, one thing I got to say though, before time, whatever time is like for me, several years ago, that I understood that um, I was feeling lonely and blue and wanted to commit suicide. And I realized that there were people out there who would be very disappointed if I had done something like that. And not necessarily associated with the YouTube, but just people in general would have been very upset if I had done that. And then and I realized that my thoughts of suicide were very selfish. And how could I walk down the red road as a shaman in training when I was so selfishly thinking of my own demise? Well, I've learned everything there is to learn, and I just want to cash out. Yeah, I'm in too much pain. I'm in too much sorrow. There's too many bad memories. There's too much going on in the universe. I can't stand it anymore. I don't want any more part of this. I want out of this. And I changed my attitude, and I'm still here. Because there's a lot of beauty when you stop focusing on the negative. Even when bad shit happens, there's still beauty in the world. It was cloudy for days. We've had over 5 inches of rain for the end of August and into September. It's unheard of, uncalled for. But the clouds parted, and I could see a full moon earlier. The clouds have come back in. I can't see it at the moment. But you know, simply because the clouds moved back in doesn't mean that there isn't a full moon. But it's still full moon. The clouds are just covering it. So, but I can imagine what it looked like earlier when the clouds weren't covering it, and how beautiful it was, and how beautiful it must be on the other side of the clouds, mind you. But the beauty's still there. Oh, but it's cloudy and I can't see it. Okay, but it's still there. The moon's still there. The energy's still there. The light of the moon is still there. So, yeah, but I can't see it, but it's still there. So is the energy in the universe. You can't see it. Whoa. But it's still there. What is it, Duggar? Ooh, I need to go let him out. So, my dear friends, have a good morning. Uh, Omnipresent. I'm glad you're here too. I'm glad that we are a family. And I want you to keep stressing this topic about trusting, but there are some folks that might need to be looking over their shoulder, just saying. So I love you. Let me go let Duggar out and chase away whatever's out there because he's really growling. You can hear him out there, hey? So until next time, my friends, I love you. I love you. I love you. Cheers. It's going to be interesting.